Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. All of you probably clicked on this video to find out all available information about the next 77 episode of Skibidi Toilet, and you have come to the right place, because today you will also learn about the Astro Woman theory, which is very likely to come true. But I have another surprise for you, because today, besides that, I will tell you about the details about the movie Skibidi Toilet, which is being prepared by Dafuk Boom, together with the producer of the first Transformers movies, Michael Bay, and the former president of Universal Pictures, Adam Goodman. Yes, in case you missed the news, Dafuk himself has recently confirmed the news publicly on his Discord server, so it's not a fake. And of course, I did not run headlong and make a video about it at once, but decided this time to understand everything properly, to give you not only superficial information like what is already known from open sources, but also other information related to the content of the movie itself. I have a couple of interesting details. After all, the fact is that in the very Variety post from which everyone first learned about the upcoming movie, there were a couple of clues that few people paid attention to. And I'm not even talking about the fact that I myself managed to dig deeper, and with the help of logical assumptions to make other inferences about what will be in the movie. And of course, that's not the only reason we're here. Over the last couple of days, a lot of things happened around Dafuk. At least he managed to play Roblox with YouTubers Steak and Creecraft, and in the process, he gave details of episode 77. Anyway, as you can imagine, we have a lot to talk about today. So as always, put like to this video. As they say, it speeds up the rate of new episodes of Skibidi Toilet, and watch from start to finish so you don't miss anything important. Anyway, here we go. And we're gonna start with Roblox. A couple days ago, Boom played live for the first time, and it was unexpected. Before the live broadcast, many people thought that Steak was just messing around and that Dafuk Boom would hardly be present in the game. But as it turned out, it wasn't a joke, and before they started playing, they had such a deal. If it happened that Dafuk lost, he was to give something about episode 77. And most likely a spoiler in the form of a frame was implied here. The game itself was divided into 4 rounds, and that's whoever scored the most points won. In the first round, Dafuk Boom won, as Creecraft accidentally killed Steak, and they both died. In the second round, Steak parkoured ahead of Dafuk Boom and evened the score at 1-1. In the third round, where they had to box, Dafuk Boom won and boxed both of them. Well, as expected, in the fourth last round, Dafuk Boom won again. Basically, as far as the last round was concerned, the others didn't stand a chance since it's a fashion show, and who but this handsome guy with orange glasses could have won? And the fact that he beat both of them 3-1 means we won't get something about episode 77. But you may not be sad, because he did give out some information during the game after all, like the fact that he plans to release episodes up to episode 100. And the coolest part is that he didn't say the series will end at episode 100, but that he plans to get to it. We all know and have repeatedly verified that Dafuk writes the scripts for the next episodes heavily in advance, meaning that what we're seeing now, he was writing while he was still doing the 30th and 40th episodes, which means that at this point, he has a plot and a plan of action for another 23 episodes ahead, and that doesn't mean he's going to stop there. As I've said many times, even though the main events may end at episode 100, no one has canceled the other prequels and sequels to the Skibidi Toilet multiverse that are sure to come out and further expand our beloved world. He also stated that he would not burn his real voice. Well, basically that was expected. After all, this is mostly done to maintain the status of a mysterious man and not to spoil the whole atmosphere of his image, which was built throughout his activities. And after these statements, he has already started to pile on with information regarding episode 77. First, he said that the episode will be big and will be divided into 3 parts. Secondly, it will feature Titans. Thirdly, maybe someone will do the Tyler dance in this episode. This is where I'd like that someone to be Camerawoman. I hope Plunger hasn't heard about this and won't hit me for saying that. And he added that Steak will probably do the voiceovers for the screams. This is quite likely, in my opinion, as his screams are very cinematic. It's not for nothing that relatively recently even Dom Studio added him to their series with his signature scream. As far as I'm concerned, Dafuk Boom will be the next to make a reference to him. Incidentally, because of this information, this screenshot where Dafuk supposedly tells Steak that he will add a bald toilet with a big head in the new episode has gone viral. The fake turned out to be too realistic in correspondence, which is probably why it started to spread. But YouTuber IBO75, who has a connection with Steak, denied this screenshot. The next statement from Boom was about Speakerman Titan. He will be appearing in the series soon. Well, that was expected, so let's better move on to the next statement. He said that one of his favorite movies is 2007's Transformers. Honestly, I love that movie too. I get straight up very nostalgic every time I watch it. But in the context of Dafuk Boom, it sounds much more epic, because he's essentially working with the director who made his favorite movie. It was Michael Bay who produced and directed this movie, and the fact that Dafuk Boom has stated that he loves one of his top films in his career. It's not just a PR move of some sort, but his sincere point of view. This is proven by the fact that his very first videos, when Skibidi Toilets wasn't even out of the question, were specifically about Transformers. Now imagine if you loved a movie at a young age and made amateur animations about it. And 6 years later, the producer of this movie would notice you, and not just noticed, and together with you would do a joint project, the author and the core of which is you. I just can't imagine how it's possible. I'm very happy for Dafuk Boom's success. It's so cool that the story itself is worthy of a screen adaptation in the form of a biography of a man who made himself from scratch and reached unimaginable heights. Even before the official announcement, there were speculations that this would happen sooner or later, because as you may remember, I already told you about some of those speculations, like Invise's TikTok account subscriptions to Michael Bay and Dafuk Boom. And in case anyone doesn't know, Invise is the very company that helps Dafuk sell his merch. By the way, if you don't want to miss out on news like this that helps us know in advance about everything Skibidi Toilet related, then be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll enjoy it, and you'll get regular yearly content with my musings and breakdowns of all things interesting. By the way, did you know that Michael Bay turned down offers to direct movies like Terminator 3, Superman Returns, and even the first Spider-Man? But he took it and agreed to make a movie about Skibidi Toilets. That means something, folks. As you'll notice, he won't take on any project, even a super potential financial hit like Terminator 3. So he's really hooked on the series from more than just a money standpoint, and that's good to see. I mean, if you think about it that way, it makes sense that he would take on this project, because it's the perfect choice for such a task. I specifically reviewed a number of films he's done and realized that his talent for making robots into well-drawn characters that you empathize with is a very necessary skill for adapting an animated series that consists almost entirely of robots. What's also exciting is that Dafuk Boom himself will be involved in the process. This he himself stated in his Discord server. Let's read his words. I want to confirm that this is true. We have been talking and discussing with Michael about Skibidi Toilets for some time now. I can't share the details yet, but I can assure you I will be involved in all major decisions. We will be cooking in earnest. Well now, friends, after all of the above, we can finally move smoothly to the very detail that can hint us about what will happen in the movie Skibidi Toilets. I'll start by telling you a theory, so that we can smoothly get to the detail. My theory is that Astro Woman has the ability to hypnotize her enemies, and in particular, I think that Cameraman Titan will be one of her first victims, which is why I even created a picture like this, which we'll talk about a little later. And now I'll explain why I think she has this ability. First of all, there's a reason she has that weird thing on her forehead. Also, we've seen similar technology in toilets many times, but if they used hypnosis with screens, like in episode 67 with the scientist, or in episode 70 with the Skibidi Scout, then in the case of the Astro Toilets, it's very likely that some of them have this technology without any additional equipment, and they manage to embed it directly into their bodies. Let's think of Astro Glitch from episode 76, or Astro Scorpion from episode 70. If you pay attention to their phrases, they sound like orders. And so specifically for this theory, I created this picture where I visualized exactly what that might look like. Immediately notice the glowing mark on their foreheads and the red lightning bolts, similar to the lightning bolts when the agents were infected by the Skibidi parasite. And so, using the example of the improved Titan Cameraman, I hypothesized how this might outwardly show up on the Astro Woman victim. This theory is also indicated by the first non-canonical version of Part 2 of Episode 76, where she was shown as a goddess of love. And as we know, love is also a kind of hypnosis from some point of view, which is another indirect evidence to my theory about her ability to influence her opponents. Well, let's not forget that Dafuk likes to play on the audience's feelings and infect her favorite characters by showing them vulnerable. And since it's been a while since Speakerman Titan has been infected, I think it's about time for that to happen. Now remember that information about the movie first appeared on the Variety website, which is considered one of the most reputable sources of information in the entertainment industry. It also said that the current idea for the movie, Skibidi Toilet, is a hybrid animated live-action thriller stylistically similar to the John Wick and District 9 movies. I even mentioned John Wick to you when I was taking apart episode 75, if you remember. It was in that episode that the mini Astro Juggernaut died, with a dog under his mask. And later Astro Juggernaut came to him and threatened to kill everyone when he saw that his favorite dog was gone. This is a very big reference to the first part of the movie John Wick. Exactly, there was the same plot with the main character, because of which he began to kill everyone. Perhaps it is because of the death of someone important to the main character that will start the whole plot of the upcoming movie. Basically, if with John Wick sorted out, then as for the movie District 9, everything is a little more complicated. Who does not know if, briefly, this movie is about aliens? But what is interesting is that District 9 uses aliens as a metaphor to discuss racism and xenophobia, and that fact led me to an interesting thought. In fact, the movie itself will probably not be released soon. Taking into account the average time frame for such a project will take at least 2 years, and by that time, the last episode of Skibidi Toilet, or at least one of the last acts of our series, will be released. And it is clear, whatever the ending or the future of the series, in any case, it is the end of the war and peaceful coexistence of different races, no matter which races, and which races will survive at the end. But no matter how the series ends, there will be one open question. Will these races coexist normally? If we already now see the example of the TV men, that even in the Alliance there is a rigid hierarchy, where TV men are above the others. And what is this, if not the seeds of civil war and an extreme form of racism and xenophobia in society? I'm not even talking about Skibidi toilets, which will not be easy to treat either. Well, at least I will not believe that just like in a fairy tale, everyone will treat them well. In my mind, since it will be a hybrid of John Wick and District 9 movies, we can see the world of Skibidi Toilet after the main events, when the Earth seems to be free from this useless war. But still, there will be problems in it, and everything will be on the line because of the reasons I told above. Well, we shouldn't forget about the people who will play a very important role, since this is a movie and not a cartoon. They are the ones who will be trying to take back control of the land in their own hands, and how they will do it, we have yet to find out in theaters. Man, I still can't believe we'll be able to see our favorite series on the big screens. We hope they do well, and this project succeeds. What do you think about today's news and my thoughts? Do you agree with me? Be sure to write your opinion in the comments. I will be interested to read it. And don't forget about my game, Toilet Run. You can download it from the link in the description.